Shalom, 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 everybody. Welcome to the live reality TV series. No edit, no script, all reality. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to welcome you. Mm. Ooh, that 420, bro. Will that get it up out of there, don't it? I welcome you to the reality TV. Something that is not being done at all in Hollywood. I had the autobiography with 3 different titles because I didn't know what name to call it at first when I first started the documentary series. It would have been finished by now and already on the shelf, already movies, already all type of stuff. But I've had my equipment and stuff, cameras, video cameras, all kind of stuff stolen, lost, misplaced, traveling, all type of things. Greyhound, planes, luggage get misplaced, etc., etc. All type of things happen, man. Misfortunes. I had 3 different titles that I was going to call it before God gave me the autobiography. Call it the W. The reason why I say God gave me the title, the autobiography, the W, because I had 3 titles that I was, when I first started this venture, when I very first started it, I had 3 titles that I was going to call it, and I was trying to choose what title to name it. The first title was The Less Fortunates. The first title that I had was The Less Fortunates. Okay. The second title that I had was called Homelessness, or just straight homeless. That brought us to the third title. I wasn't for sure if I should just name it Homelessness or just Homeless. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's unscripted, it's unedited, it's inside footage, just like all your movies is, but the theme is about homelessness. You say, well, when you look at TV shows like The Wire, HBO, The Wire, you see certain things that's dealing with it, or you see movies like that, The Wire, or Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society. You South Central, movie South Central. You'll see a lot of different uh, Blood In, Blood Out, a movie called Colors, uh, New Jack City. You know what I'm saying? Those types of things. So a little bit about my experience growing up is what led to the documentary. After I got signed to a record deal back in 2015, I got signed to a record label, signed to a record deal back in 2015, but I already had my music out there. I've already been doing things. I've already been traveling. I've already been, overseas. I've already had my music on the radio and stuff. That's the reason why it was a big old argument between Hollywood and Canada with my record label Tape Music Group. It was a very big argument because uh, I guess because Hollywood wanted to sign me and somebody else had already signed me. Canada Tape Music Group had already signed me to a record deal. Now, we'll get off into uh, a lot of that later. What inspired it uh, was an incident, a real life incident that happened when I was in the fifth grade, and a tragedy that uh, came upon me and my family and I, where somebody tried to either assassinate or try to kill us, and we ended up uh, in a situation where they tried to put us in a witness protection program and things like that. Now, first, I'm gonna say that carbon monoxide poisoning is a real thing. That's number one. Okay. I want to say rest in peace to some people that just passed yesterday. They were they were put out of here, and for low increment weather, and two of them died. You know what I mean? Now, carbon monoxide poisoning is like kryptonite to Superman. It'll kill anybody. You know what I'm saying? There really is no cure for that. Okay, that's number one. So carbon monoxide is a real issue, and that was the reason why me and my family was hospitalized when dealing with the incident I told you in the fifth grade. Okay, so whoever did that was very mindful about carbon monoxide and what it can and what it cannot do. So after being hospitalized, me and my family and an investigation went forth. They had to remove me and my family from a certain situation that I really can't talk about because it's still a issue. From there, being homeless in a shelter, uh, downtown Dallas Family Shelter, Salvation Army in the fifth grade was pretty extravagant for me. It was something that was brand new to me. Uh, being born in Dallas, being from LA, my family from LA, and my mother from my mother's side of the family from Texas, Dallas. You know, being in the Salvation, something I never heard of before. I wasn't used to. I just wasn't used to. But it was something that I learned early on in the fifth grade. It can happen to anybody. and I was young. I'll give you the time frame when I was in the fifth grade, because I was born in 1977. So around about this time, I was hospitalized, and we entered into a shelter system through uh, the legal system or the court system, which you would probably call witness protection because of the carbon monoxide poisoning. Now, they ran tests in labs and blood work on us while we was hospitalized and everything. And doctors was amazed because we slept in carbon monoxide all night long for over 8 hours. I'm talking about from the time that we got out of school, which was around like 3 o'clock the day before, all the way to, that next morning when it was time to go to school. You know what I mean? And instead of going to school the next day, we ended up in the hospital because everybody was sick, and we thought it was just, we didn't know what it was. We really didn't. Nobody knew what it was. We were just throwing up and sick. We thought it was just a stomach virus, or my parents thought it was a stomach virus. We didn't know what it was. It wasn't until, uh, it wasn't until like that morning that we realized that, uh, it was carbon monoxide, because the fire and rescue was like, go to the hospital immediately, because they came with getting readings off their chemical charts. So they're like, y'all need to go to the hospital immediately. So we get to the hospital. They got us on gas masks. They're pumping my stomach, pumping our stomachs, things like that, breathing oxygen in, and everything. Police comes in and start asking me some questions, and I'm just like out of there. I don't know where I'm at that time. You know what I mean? I don't know where I'm at. Carbon monoxide makes you hallucinate. You know what I'm saying? Slows your heart rate down, causes cardiac pulmonary resuscitative disorder. Okay? Cardiovascular. Okay? Now, that's deadly. Let's just say it's a killer. That's why they call it a silent killer. If you ever heard what a ninja is, then that's worse than a ninja, because you can't see it, you can't taste it. It's odorless, it's colorless, it's tasteless. You don't even really know that it's like the air that you breathe. You know what I'm saying? You don't really smell the air, but you know that it's there because you're breathing it. Okay, you can't. Carbon monoxide is like, it's like odorless, colorless. There's no way you can really detect. You need instruments to detect carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide is what you use to gas your gas stoves. When houses were used for, with gas, you use it for cooking for your gas stove. It was primarily after that it's what struck a new idea for electric stoves, electrical housing. Okay, that incident or tragedy that happened to me and my family inspired builders to, because it was a medical miracle that we wasn't. It was a miracle in medicine that we didn't die. They couldn't understand it. It's kind of like that guy that fell 50 stories painting or doing windows, him and his brother, and both of them fell 50 stories. One of them died and the other one's still alive. And science and medicine can't explain except for it's a miracle. It's God. See, you know what I'm saying? But the first time that they heard about it or seen stuff like this is when I was in the fifth grade. They really, according to the blood work and everything that they did, they came back with the wild results. And it's like there is no way, according to these charts, with the amount of carbon monoxide that y'all have been, uh, doctors just big old eyes. And I heard them kind of like outside the door talking while I was still being, in the gas mask. And I was like the one that was in the most critical condition. They had already released all my other brothers and sisters, and I was the one that was still kind of like clinging on to life by a thread. They did X-rays, etc., etc. They realized that I had a real bad contusion on this side of the head, where my skull was split. Um, when I was in the kindergarten, going to the first grade, my skull was split so bad I was bleeding from the top of my head, out of my eyes and ears and my nose and my mouth. I was bleeding, bleeding, bleeding to the point where I was I was near death. And the doctors couldn't understand with such a blow and such a force why that traumatization didn't end my life before I got a chance to even, go to school. You know what I'm saying? And the only thing they can say is it was God. And the second thing was the carbon monoxide poisoning. Now, that's when I was in the fifth grade. They put us in this program, and I was begging my mom and dad, let's just go back to California. I got my own house. I got my own place. I got my own room. I got my own clothes. I got my own toys. I got the own garden. We right there behind the Hollywood sign. Why not just go back to California? We could be with grandma. We ain't got to worry about none of this. We don't have to worry about none of this. We go back home. All right. Now check it. Being in the shelter system, I saw black, white, Mexican, Japanese, Chinese, all races of people, young, old, middle aged, and a lot of them had some type of addiction, drug addiction, cigarette addiction, alcohol addiction. It was fucked up. It wasn't all good. The Salvation Army was overflowing. All the shelters was overflowing. People was sleeping on the streets even then. And I was in the fifth grade. I'm gonna tell you the era because you all love the movie. When it came out, that's when it happened. And it was called The Last Dragon. Bruce Leroy. Sure enough, the movie came out. Soon as we was watching this movie, it was called The Last Dragon. And I was in the fifth grade and you'll see stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? So around about the fifth grade is what inspired me to come with the documentary series of what you see me doing or working on. Now, just getting you caught up on a little bit of autobiography on uh how I came up with the thing, the W. The W, at first I had, like I said, I had three other titles that I was gonna actually call it. Less fortunate, I was gonna call it homelessness or homeless. So I'm gonna get ready to close out the opening of this autobiography introduction is what I'm gonna call it. Introduce you to the path or the plan or the vision or what you see or what I'm doing, what I'm working on, you know, the documentary. So be prepared because you're gonna see a lot of 420 because that's what I do. I'm Hebrew Israelite, so you're gonna see a lot of 420 involved with this. So if marijuana and hemp offends you, then I apologize. That, but we all have our personal opinions. Okay, so now I've been on 420 since I was in the kindergarten with Dare to keep kids off of drugs. Where the police came in when I was in the kindergarten, they came in the first grade, kindergarten, first grade, second grade. They burnt cannabis in the classroom. They did. It was called Dare to keep kids off of drugs. It was called Dare. But every year they would come in, the police would come in to TG Terry, because that's the school that I went to. It was called TG Terry. And that's in Dallas, Oak Cliff, if you know. TG Terry was my elementary school that I went to. And I was like, well, Mom, Dad, why can't I just go back to California? Why can't we just go back to LA? I want to be with Grandma and we could just be there. But I ended up going to school at TG Terry in Dallas. Now, the police will come once a year and burn cannabis in the classroom. They're to keep kids off drugs. So I've got this 420 thing that's in me since I was a kid, man. Being from California, you gotta already know. You know what I'm saying? You gotta already know we 420 friendly anyway. So if 420 offends you, then you know, so be it. But that's what it is in this podcast in everything that I do. Now, here's a warning because everyone who's homeless is not the same in mind, body, spirit. Just like it is in other society, high society. And when I say high society, because anybody who has a house is considered high society to someone who is considered less fortunate on the streets, uh, scums of the earth, if you want to call them, homeless fucks, shits, all kind of shits that names have been called or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Derogatory terms, whatever you want to call it. We're gonna bring you inside everyday life. You know what I'm saying? That's what this documentary is about. Now I lost all type of footage. I've lost all type of cameras. I lost a lot of film time. I lost a lot of film. You know what I'm saying? Greyhound. You know, like I said, I was signed to a record deal back in 2015, and that's when I was really heavy. I had already, like I said, I already been filming, already been doing music, had already, and then like after they went to prison, all type of shit, man, hardships. You know what I'm saying? Hardships come. One, it seemed like you got everything and everything's happening, then all of a sudden, whoop, it's like everything's gone. And I'm gonna deal with a lot of the issues in Hollywood where people who are musicians and actors and things like that. You say, why do they leave and then be broke? And they've been making all this money all these years. And then, how can he be broke? So we gonna deal with that. Maybe not right now, but we gonna deal with that and all that. It's all in your contracts. It's all in your contracts. Your contracts, the contracts that you sign. The contracts that you sign. You gotta watch the contracts that you sign, because you know what I'm saying? They can pull the wool over your eyes and do some shady shit. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, what happened to Charleston White? Dude turned around, he signed his contract with this dude for 20 girls. They brought in like 12 or 15. Then they start bringing in homosexuals. He's like, well, according to the contract that you signed, etc., etc. See, that's why I said I started that movement. Let me see your contract. Because I got into an argument with a couple of other artists, you know what I'm saying, back in the day. And I was like, well, let me see your contract then. Because they was like, my contract is better than yours. I was like, well, what do you get? And woo, 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 woo. So I showed them my contract. You know what I'm saying? I showed them my contract. And then I looked at theirs. I'm like, man, look, your contract is nothing like mine. And I showed them exactly the difference between the contract that I had with a distribution and marketing and distribution contract that I signed. 60% was my cut. 60% was my cut. And there was no other artist that was getting 60% with a major record label, period. Point blank. Not that. Show me one and show me the contract. You know what I'm saying? So when I got signed, my contract was 60%. Homie was getting like maybe 20%, 15%. I'm like, man, you getting 20%, they getting 80%. But then when you factor in, if you don't do X amount of numbers in perpetuity, if you don't do X amount of numbers, then your 20% drops to 15 and your 15 drops to 10 until they recoup. Or your 10 drops to 5 and your 5 drops to 1 and your 1 drops to 0.5. Now they gotta pay you something. They can't just not pay you. You might get $1,000 check. Your check might be $1,000, maybe 500. And then they take out for things too. Until they recoup by law. And I'm talking about like your ABC records. I'm talking about like your Clive Davis. I'm talking about like the contract that Michael Jackson was under, Warner Brothers. I'm talking about like your Jay-Z contract. I'm talking about like your Little Flip contract that you signed with Little Flip. I'm talking about like your Little Wayne contract you signed with Little Wayne, WAC 100. You know what I'm saying? Any contract that you sign in Hollywood or abroad that deals with Hollywood is going to deal with you like that, because that's how business is done. You know what I'm saying? So you know the risk. When you sign on the dotted line, you know the risk. If you don't sell, then this can happen. And they're going to have it like that, and it drops on your percentage and your points, and they gain more points until they recoup. Let's say you got $1 million advance. I signed a $50 million record deal with 100,000 advance. Then I spent that 100,000 on 100,000 bands. Then I threw the 100,000 in the 100,000 chance. And then I hit the corner with my 100,000 stands. And your record don't go platinum. Let's say your record don't only sell but 300,000. Well, that's not enough money to recoup what they already initially said that you're supposed. So you get hit. You better go back and watch the movie Temptations. Then you be up off in that office talking about you want out of your contract and getting hung out the window where he talking about business and office hours is from 8 to 4, 9 to 4, whatever. That's some real shit. You gotta look at those contracts. You gotta look at those contracts, man. you got you gotta look at those contracts, homie. What you put in those contracts can straight up make somebody a slave. You know what I'm saying? And verbal contracts is just as binding as written contracts. So you gotta watch how you verbally, spiritually agree with people. You know, be like, man, you know what I'm saying? You said such and such, such. I'm gonna try to hold you to that, etc., etc. And you know what I'm saying? You're not a man of your word. It's like they don't want to give you no type of room for you to reconsider even dealing with a nigga that could potentially turn out to be a troublemaking Judas, a troublemaking Judas, backstabbing ass hypocrite. Essentially, that's man's best friend right there, bro. So I was like, let me see a contract. When I saw that he was only making 20%, and then if he don't if he don't make X amount of sales, then they take in perpetuity extra points until they recoup. Mm-mm-mm. Man, yeah, it's frostbitten out here, homie. So I'm finna end this right quick, man, and we gonna get started on the movie when it kind of warms up because it's freezing out here, ice out. You're not gonna really get a whole lot of decent footage that you really want to get. Like I want to show the whole world how it really is on these streets. You know what I'm saying? Niggas talk about the streets. The streets. I'm in the streets. I'm from the streets. Nigga, I grew up on these motherfucking streets. What you mean? Like the streets fucking raised me literally, you know what I'm saying? Since the motherfucking fifth grade. Shit. You better be military with a military mind, ready to do what the fuck you gotta do in these streets. This is Dallas. It's not called the W for a reason. Shit. For no reason at all, for fun. Shit goes down up out here. For real. And Funky Town is not far behind because niggas run up on you and block out. Your head be blown the fuck off. Running with the wrong color or the wrong attitude. Shit. It's Texas, man. I got a homeboy up off in there right now who's a sometimey ass nigga that make me get to the point like I don't even want to talk to the nigga sometime because he's an Indian giver. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker from Oakland. And I'm trying to show love to the nigga. I'm like, man, you new to Texas and you in these streets, bro. Niggas don't really know you. Niggas is really showing you hospitality. But then it's like, with your high siding ass ways and you know what I'm saying? Your troublemaking ass ways and Indian giving ass ways. And then you want to turn around and throw something up in a nigga face. You know? Niggas out here get to the point they'll start talking. Man, I don't like that nigga, man. He a bitch ass nigga for shit like that. Word just get around and shit like that, man. And niggas ain't gonna really wanna fuck with you. When it get to that point, somebody will just walk up to you while you talking a lot of shit one day and be like, hey man. Like knocking at the door, like, hey man, what's up? You need to DJ screw your shit. And being from Oakland, he didn't understand what that meant. Because it got to that point. Like, man, I'm getting to the point I don't like that nigga, man. Then he got to talking about the military, talking about niggas as slaves in the military and shit. Like, thought you said anybody that go to the military is a motherfucking slave. What the fuck? You house ass nigga? You house nigga? You a house nigga? You call me a slave, then you must be a house nigga. Cause I'm on the outside looking in. House nigga. And I'm talking about the nigga that call himself, that's my partner. But in the same breath, a nigga turn around at the same breath. I'm supposed to be your homeboy, but in the same breath, why, oh yeah, that's my homeboy. And then turn right around and try to high side on a nigga. I fed you. Nigga, you ain't did shit for me with some motherfucking food stamps and a motherfucking punk ass sandwich for $4. Like you didn't just eat off of me from motherfucking Louisiana chicken with a 15 piece, you know what I'm saying? And smoke off my motherfucking weed from Fort Worth. Your little funky $4 sandwich from 7-Eleven ain't shit compared to Louisiana chicken, nigga. And some weed from Fort Worth. And I'm talking about some kush. And we got a thing down here in Texas. Don't throw shit like that up off in a nigga face. If you do something for somebody, nigga, shut the fuck up. So what, nigga? You gave me a sandwich, nigga? Nigga, you ate a whole motherfucking chicken dinner. The fuck? You want to holler about what the fuck you can do with a female that you can't do with a nigga? Well, nigga, ain't nobody no motherfucking homosexual. And I'm talking about a motherfucker from Oakland that, man, his name is Cubby. He go by Cubby Hole. I'm like, nigga, why the fuck would you call yourself something like that? What the fuck is a Cubby Hole? So we kind of have some disagreements. The nigga done accused me of stealing his motherfucking phone. You know what I'm saying? Talking about, oh, my shit said it was at the library. The fuck? I just came back from Fort Worth. And now I'm at the library because I just got doing live in the fucking studio. This is the reason why I'm at the fucking library. Plus, I'm in the fucking chess club. And on top of that, nigga, I'm from Texas. I was born in this motherfucker. I'm from LA. You know what I'm saying? My family is born in that motherfucker. I'm back and forth raised my whole fucking life. Can't nobody tell me shit about Texas. Can't nobody tell me shit about California. So anyway, closing out, I had argument with this nigga. He was like, nigga, you done ate a whole motherfucking chicken dinner off of me, nigga. That shit cost damn near $20. Plus smoke some motherfucking kush from Fort Worth. That bullshit ass shit that you call. You know what I'm saying? And I gave you you smoked off of me, and I gave you some motherfucking weed to smoke. And rolled up your motherfucking blunt for you so that you can smoke by yourself, because I want to smoke by myself, and I'm tired of niggas begging me out of my shit. But when you smoke with me, that's how you smoke. But if I ever get one or two puffs, like, I look around because it's his shit. I get two puffs off a motherfucking blunt that's being passed by 7 niggas. But when you smoke with me, it's just me. You know what I'm saying? But you want a hot side about your little weed that's passed between 7 niggas that you don't even fucking really know. That niggas that man. Shit. It's funny how a motherfucker call themselves your homeboy, but when it's time to smoke, they go find 7, 8, 9, 10 other niggas to smoke. But when you smoking and they want to smoke with you, hey man, it's just between me and you, man. Why? So you can smoke more? That's the reason why I smoke by myself, because, and then you throwing shit up in a nigga face, then you accusing a nigga of stealing your motherfucking phone. You know what I'm saying? That shit right there, nigga, will fucking get you pop, pop, pop. And it won't have to be me that do it, because somebody is always fucking watching. You know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna say something, be like, man, that nigga hot siding like a motherfucker, man. When you throw something in somebody's face that you did, and then somebody turn around and hear that shit within earshot, because every time a motherfucker start talking that shit about what the fuck they did for somebody else, they gotta get loud. They gotta get loud. Why the fuck you gotta get real loud? So the next nigga and the next nigga and the next nigga and the next nigga and everybody around, 50 people or deep or more, everybody can hear you. The whole fucking block can hear you. Niggas can hear you all the way down the block about, I gave you a chicken, piece of shit. I gave you a sandwich, nigga. I gave you a sandwich. Nigga, somebody gonna turn around and come through and be like, I don't like that nigga. He a high-siding ass nigga. He a high-siding ass nigga. That nigga do one thing, then he feel like he can front. You know what I'm saying? Then somebody turn around and do you like the way they did him. It was like, say, man, you need to DJ screw your shit. He don't understand what it mean. I had to tell the dude, like, nah, man, he don't understand what it mean, DJ screw your shit. He's like, oh, let me explain it to you then. He was like, homeboy Cubby. He's like, let me explain it to you then. My homeboy military. He going, cause he got downwind, and niggas going around calling niggas in the military slaves. You know what I'm saying? He's like, man, you need to DJ screw your shit. So another nigga from the army got up on his ass, was like, nigga, you need to DJ screw your shit. Got up in the nigga face, like, check the nigga. Put the nigga in check. Check, you know, check yourself before you wreck yourself, homie. That type shit. So he was like, man, you need to DJ screw your shit. And I had to explain to him, like, he from Oakland, he don't really know what that means. He was like, dude, you need to slow your roll, cause motherfuckers will get at you. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers get at you for the shit that you're doing. You seen the movie Friday when he sat him down? He told us, like, look, man, you walk up and down the streets all day playing. You walk up and down the streets all day playing. I'm like, dog, don't come It ain't where you from, it's where you at, homeboy. This is what you don't understand. He walking around, I'm like, nigga, you ain't no crip. Then he want to talk some other gangster shit. I'm like, well, nigga, you ain't no motherfucking blood. I'm a blood, nigga. Like, real talk, nigga, I'm a blood. I've been a blood since I was in the motherfucking 5th grade. Because that's when the shit happened. I've been a blood since I was in the motherfucking 5th grade. And I'm talking about some real gangster shit. Peel your cap back. Be in motherfucking jail for 50 years with an L on death row type shit. Bounty hunter, nigga, West 29th place. That shit happened when I was in the 5th grade. I'll get into it. I'll tell you how it all happened. West 29th place live. Los Angeles, California. 90018. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, you know what I'm saying? He was like, you need to DJ Screw your shit. So I was like, nah, he don't understand. He don't understand. He from Oakland. He think everything all good, talking greasy. He think it's all good, talking greasy. He's like, well, he don't understand fat meat greasy. You talking greasy, you need to understand fat meat greasy. You don't go to another nigga hood. You know what I'm saying? You don't go to another man's house and then bark orders in another man's house about his refrigerator, do you? It's like, that's not hospitality, bro. That's not P's and Q's. In Texas, you know, be on your P's and Q's, niggas get they shit thrown up. You know what I'm saying? Niggas get thrown out here. You know what I'm saying? The shit that happened at the library, guess what? The motherfucking federal building is right down the street from that. You shit. Motherfucker AK-47 somebody right there in front of the library. The library is right down the street from the motherfucking federal building. Loose Terrace is not even a mile away from here. Okay? This here is Martin Luther King. This is the fair part, but ain't nothing but police out here, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing but police out here. But nigga still AK-47 is a whole motherfucking block. And that was just probably not even a month ago. Hell, wasn't even a whole month ago, man. So just try to warn the nigga, like, hey, man, you might be my homeboy, man, but you some timey ass nigga, man. Now nigga want to sit up here and play chess, and this nigga playing Indian Giver with a motherfucking chessboard. Like, and it ain't even his chessboard. And the motherfucker that he hollering about that want the chessboard back, I'm like, where the fuck she at? Is she coming tonight? Is she coming today? Oh man, now you know what it is motherfuckers want to hold shit over your. You gotta really beware of a motherfucker who always feel like that they gotta hold shit over your head and not they hold shit over your head trying to get you to ask for permission to do some simple shit. That shit right there, I don't deal with a motherfucker like that. Nigga, fuck, I need to ask you some shit for, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Can I, nigga, I don't need your motherfucking permission to play motherfucking chess, nigga. Play chess anytime. You know what I'm saying? A motherfucker wants you to depend on them and not be independent of them. Like you gotta beg them for shit. So that they could go around bragging about shit about what the fuck they did. And see, for me, I done beat up plenty of people that's like that. You know what I'm saying? You want to be so braggadocious, nigga. You want to be so arrogant and full of yourself and egotistical. I hate them type of motherfuckers, man. You, you wanna put yourself on a pedestal and talk down on everybody else. And there's a song that came out back in the day say never talk down on a player unless you're ready to be straight labeled as a hater. So I'm finna end this and finish up my little 420 coincide. And then I'm finna watch a little too.